Hello everybody, this is Adam from Wheel Guns for Wheelmen, and today we're going to be talking about my new CZ75 D PCR. So, I recently bought this really nice CZ because it was on sale, and I was looking to upgrade to something a little different than my Ruger Max 9, which was my double stack 9mm that I've been carrying. The purchase was just not very good. The grip was too small. It was snappy, and I could shoot it okay at the range, but getting a good grip on the gun while drawing it from concealment was difficult. Also, it didn't have a light, or a rail for a light. So, I purchased this. The tip-up barrel 380. I have a video on this, first impressions video. I have over 100 rounds through this gun, and everyone who shot it has liked it. It's basically a Beretta Model 86 Cheetah, but that takes 84 series mags. In other words, it's a double stack version of the 86, which is a single stack. And it's in 380, which is fine. I carry a Ruger LCP too, and has a rail for a light. Now, I really like this gun. I shoot it really well. And overall, it's a good gun. I've had zero malfunctions using a number of different self-defense loads, but as I noted in the video on this gun, it doesn't have an extractor. So when I went to pull a snap cap out, it didn't come out. I had to force it out. And I've had one dud round, which is the ammunition's fault. And same thing, you can't just rack it to clear it like you would a normal gun, just tap and rack. And if anything goes wrong in a gunfight, you really want to have that capability to tap and rack. Now, let's discuss the star of the show. So, we have this CZ here. Now what this is, the D PCR designation, means that this is a compact CZ75. It means that it is a decocker only. So, if you have the trigger, if you have the hammer cocked back, because you've racked around and chambered around, you hit that lever and you can decock it. Then you can holster it, and then you can put it on your person. And if you ever have to reholster and you've decocked it, you can hold the hammer like this, and that way you know it's not going to go off when you reholster, especially if you're like me and you appendix carry. So, nice feature. That's how I prefer. I prefer no manual safety, only a decocker. That's what I've switched almost all of my firearms over to for competitive shooting, home defense. My nightstand gun's a Beretta 92 G model, so yeah. Now, there are a few things about this gun that are different from the CZ-P01, which is very similar. So the CZ-P01, dimensionally, the same. The difference is the P01 has a rail right here. Adds an extra ounce to the overall weight. Not too bad. Also, the P01 sights are, they're not angled. These are supposed to be, snag-free sights, so to speak. The other ones have like a distinct ledge, which some people like because you can rack it off a table. But overall, I decided I didn't really need the rail for the light after all, after I started thinking about it. I like having a light on my nightstand gun, because in my own house, if it's 2 a.m. and I hear a crash, there shouldn't be anyone else in my house. So if I am using the light on my gun to shine around my garage or my living room or something, I know what I should be pointing at, which is my stuff. And if it ends up pointing at a human that I didn't know was there, well, if I muzzle someone in my house at 2 a.m., I'm fairly confident that that's a good thing and not a negligent thing, because they shouldn't be there. However, if you're out in public and you have a CZ-P01 and you have a light and you use that light to shine down an alley or in a parking lot that's really dark or a parking garage, you can't be doing that. You can't just be waving a gun around to see what made a noise, because more likely than not, it's not a threat. And then you get the cops called on you. Indeed, that's why you should carry a little light that fits in your vest pocket, shirt pocket, whatever. And this little light works great, and you can use it with a firearm. However you want to do it. You can also hold it up here. Some people say you should hold the light off body for the reason that people might shoot towards the light if they can't see you. They just see your light. So this light and this gun is what I'm going to be carrying this winter, assuming this makes it to 450, 500 rounds with no issues. And so far I only have 66 rounds through it. Has cycled both types of hollow points and both types of full metal jackets I put through it, but it needs to go through some more rounds in order for me to feel confident. Now, it's 6 minutes into the video, but, and I apologize that it took so long to get this far, but we're going to go and review the gun now. And less about my reasons for why I bought it, and just straight up review of the gun. So, first thing everyone notices who I've handed this to is it is extremely difficult to rack versus any of the other firearms in my collection, and I have over a dozen pistols. Even other, double action, single action firearms. I think it's in part because the slide on CZs are sitting down in the frame, and the slide rails are actually internal instead of external. It creates a lower bore axis, which keeps muzzle flip down. It's a good thing, but you don't have much surface area to grab on these slides, I've noticed. And it's just, the springs are really heavy. It's also stiff because it's a newer gun. It'll be less bad over time. But that's not it's not important, because you're never going to need to rack it under pressure, most likely. Unless you bring spare mags with you, which the purpose of going from my Walter PPSM2, which is a single stack, to this is it holds 15 rounds. And my hands are small, so this grip is not very long. I have small hands. If someone, larger lumberjack hands, they may very well only be able to get 2 fingers on the grip. So, but, you can cram 15 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. Also, something else I like about this gun, it takes CZ mags that are for the SP01, which I own, that are 19 rounders. So, it sticks out the bottom, but it does cycle with these. I put 10 rounds through this, and they cycled for what it's worth. Now, the trigger on CZs is notoriously good. And the trigger on this particular firearm is no different. It is very light and very crisp with very little travel in single action, and even in double action. It's smooth. It's relatively heavy because it's made for carry, not for competition like my SP01. But it's a very nice trigger. I hit the bullseye on the first shot. No problems there. And so, yeah, it's tough to rack. Yeah, it doesn't have a light rail, but you need to rack it under pressure, and you probably shouldn't be using a light on your carry gun, in my opinion. The trigger is good. The sights are good. I don't believe they're night sights, but they're not white dots either. They're little green dots, and they're easier to see. And it does weigh an ounce less than the P01 because it doesn't have the light rail, so that's a bonus. It's a little lighter weight. And most importantly, I can get a good purchase on it. A lot easier than the Ruger Max 9. The Ruger Max 9 was about this much shorter. Imagine this part's gone. That's what the Max 9 is like from here up. So overall, I'm excited to see if this becomes my new carry gun. I will keep you updated, and I will have a 500 round review. There should also be a couple other 500 round reviews coming out here shortly of some other pistols that I am getting right around that mark with. Anyways, please like and subscribe so that you get notifications when I post those videos. My videos aren't flashy, and they might be kind of boring, but I hope that they're at least packed full of information that you find useful, and especially if you're going to be buying one of these potentially. So, stay tuned for an update in hopefully a month or two.